One thing every story needs is a protagonist. But what kind of protagonist, one might ask? What kind of protagonist, one might ask? Why nor outrageously abusive one, of course. At first, creating them may seem like a task, but don't worry, let's just start. See, we are already done. We will call our protagonist, they say write what you know, so just put flaws into the story, yes? Now that we removed everyone else, let's fight over her. Now some of you might believe that flaws make flaws make flaws. That means if we must give Mary Sue flaws, then we should give her flaws. If we need to add some drama, we could always give her angst, but never actually affects her outside of getting her pity point. Is Mary Sue not in the scene? Have every other character there talk about depressing stuff like what Mary Sue is doing. Does Mary Sue have parents? Make sure they are parents. She is stuck with abusive, normal foster parents. If they are abusive, make sure they inflict terrible atrocities upon her, like forcing her to wear her real special parents' dresses or attending bad guy school to better her education. One thing to watch out for is fails. Have her effortlessly overcome every challenge. It's not like our readers actually want to see a pity contest. Now we have the perfect protagonist for our story.
Man, this game's boring. Isn't there any good game out there that's free? Here.
Did somebody say
My self-insert should be a guy.
Wait, what did you just say?
Isn't that game?
Nobody can agree. Some people say a Mary Sue is any character who's married and/or Sue, but that definition also covers basically every Mary Sue, so clearly it's too broad. Nobody can agree. Sometimes it's restricted to author inserts, but there's nothing stopping a writer from writing a perfectly harmless author avatar into the story. Mark Hamill has even gone on record to say that when he was stumped on how to play a scene, he'd just default to whatever Luke Skywalker would do, and Lucas would love it. But obviously, so how do we unravel the mystery of the Mary Sue? Who is she? Well, we should probably start at the beginning.
One thing every story needs is a protagonist. But what kind of protagonist, one might ask?
Let's indulge in a little bit of fandom archaeology and travel all the way back to 1973. Mary Sue was coined as a coin in a Star Trek fanzine, and I'd summarize, but it'd be easier to just read, "Gee golly gosh glorioski," thought Mary Sue as she stepped on Captain Kirk. "Here I am. Old. I love you madly." See, at the time, this was a lot of what fanfiction was. People wanted to ride along with all these gorgeous adventures, which, no, we find her annoying because the story is annoying. Now, this was the Gen 1 Mary Sue, the original girl's shameless fic insert. And honestly, I'm not her. People write fanfic for fun. And if your first original character happens to be Mark Hamill with better hair, then whatever, man. You do you. But Gen 1 Mary Sue understandably got a lot of backlash. She was accused of being too gender. The fact of the matter is, the brand of Mary Sue is a female trope. She started as a trope, mostly used by beginner female trope writers, and blossomed into 1,000 recolored variants of a poorly written self-insert used by Mark Hamill. Maybe we should recognize that Mary Sue hasn't been a portly dude hunched over a computer with some scary shiny goggles since 1793, and maybe it's time we updated the model a little for the modern day. So yeah.
Three, most egregiously, this isn't a real problem. This is a problem that Nintendo invented, and it's been that way since the whole NSO thing, since the beginning of them not including the feature in their games. Other game companies include cloud saves. They just do. And they all have lots and lots and lots of online games. I don't know if you've heard, but online games are pretty
boring.